With the release of Natlan right around the corner, I decided to review every 5-star in the game and pick out one wrong thing with each of them. I'll go as fast as I can because we have a lot of 5 stars. First character is Diluc. He has a charge attack passive, but you don't want to be using his charge attacks. You either want to be using your autos and skill or plunge attacking. Jean's best team is Sunfire, but she has a 10-second uptime on her burst with a 10-second downtime. Besides losing your 50-50 to her, Chi-Chi's biggest issue is her really bad skill uptime, where you lose out on a lot of energy, cryo application, and healing that it can offer, which isn't much in the first place. Mona's Omen from her elemental burst only gives you 4 seconds to do as much damage as possible before it goes away for 11 seconds. It's extremely easy to whiff Venti's elemental burst if you're too close to them. Keqing is a good character given very low numbers. Klee's elemental burst goes away when she switches characters and does not follow the active character. You can't spend too long in his melee stance or his cooldown will be ridiculous. Zhongli's pillar could easily be destroyed by collision issues, ruining his best in slot artifact piece, taking away some of his damage. Boosts his team elemental mastery, but at the same time stealing their elemental reactions via his skills coordinated attacks. Doesn't want to be near enemies, but her passive keeps in a fixed area that's near enemies. A large group of smaller enemies can actually be knocked out of his plunges, forcing him to reposition. All Hu Tao players have to learn how to jump cancel because their autos are really bad. You can only get 15 out of 30 Grimheart stacks on her own, with the other 15 being locked behind weapons, constellations, and characters. Kazuha can sometimes have a hard time breaking elemental shields if he ends up swirling the element they're made out of. And he probably will if you end up going against Abyss Heralds. Kamisato Ayaka's elemental burst hitbox is a lot smaller than you think and it can just miss enemies randomly. Created to kill thundering manifestations and specters and gets quickly overwhelmed by larger groups of enemies. The energy she returns through her elemental burst is really underwhelming. Kokomi wants to be on-field auto-attacking to heal her team, but she can't crit, so her on-field might be a little bit lackluster. Ito's Bull Ushi might be considered one of the worst summons in the game as it only taunts and it does no damage. Shenhe's incredibly niche cryo buff only procs 5 to 7 times. Yae Miko's level 4 Sakura is locked behind a constellation, yet it can be read in her talents. Ayato excels on taking on bigger groups of enemies, but he's stationary while he does it and he can't really stagger them, so he's forced to reposition over and over. Elon's passive doesn't want other Hydro units, but Hydro Renaissance wants other Hydro units. Tighnari's slow, hard-hitting nature doesn't really fit well with Dendro. Sino's elemental burst lasts so long that a lot of free-to-play support units can't really keep up with him, forcing him to rely on premium support units. The issue with Nilo is that she blooms so much and her blooms are so powerful that she's often killing herself over and over. Nahida really struggles against wave-like content because she would have to keep applying her mark over and over. The Wanderer is very vulnerable in the air and is often hit out of the sky. Alhaitham is a very combo heavy character and any hiccups in that combo could really mess up his damage. Dia. For a Genjo Catalyst user, he has terrible application. Unlike his elemental burst, missing a skill will generate no source water droplets. Wriothesley's self-healing is not enough to keep up with the health that he's losing. Furina drains so much HP that a single unit healer is not enough to heal the whole team, despite her passive. Navia has to be stationary when using her Gumbrella, and the range isn't that good either. The playstyle that she offers only applies to a handful of characters. Requires a Geo construct to reach max base potential, but only few characters can make Geo constructs, and they're not even on her best teams. Even with her passive, she requires multiple enemies to reach the max amount of bond of life possible. She shoots with her pistol, but she also forces you to get in close with your sword, often getting you killed. Siegeween.
Hey! Who blew this bubble? You all know the rules.
All bubble-blowing babies will be beaten senseless by every able-bodied patron in the bar.
That's right! So who blew it?